Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is May 24th, 2023. Hopefully, this episode finds you well, in good spirits, and high hopes. I'm doing pretty good myself. I'm feeling great. No complaints, other than just, being broke, inflation. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. We're good. We're solid. I'm a little hungry. But that being said, the weather is great. It's nice having good weather. I'm into it. I mean, granted, I know there's the winter lovers out there, the summer haters. I don't like sweating. I hate it. I hate underboob sweat, and that's something I have to endure now. But that being said, as I get older, I just hate the cold more and more. So just having weather that doesn't have me freezing, I'm here for it. Like I can sleep with a sheet. I can make that work. You know what I mean? I'm fine. So yeah, I mean we're feeling good, we're feeling great. No food corner to report though. Pretty ho hum food. So yeah, we can go ahead and just get into it. Let's get straight to the news. From CNN, Russia accuses Ukraine of mounting sabotage attack across border. Let's see. A group of anti-Putin Russian nationals who are aligned with the Ukrainian army has claimed responsibility for an attack in Russian's southern or southwestern region of Belgorod, as Moscow said it was fighting a group of saboteurs there. Shelling damaged an administrative building, several residential buildings, and a kindergarten in the area, according to regional governor Vyacheslav Gladkov. There we go. I think I tried that one. Who said there were no fatalities. The two groups that have claimed responsibility are the Freedom of Russia Legion and Russian Volunteer Corps. They said they liberated a settlement in Belgorod region, which borders Ukraine. So, I mean, naturally, this is like a really big deal. This is literally, potentially troops that do have a tangential connection to Ukraine. These are Russian nationals. That being said, I do believe they have done operations, in Ukraine with Ukraine against Russia. And then they said, oh, well, we're going to do our own thing over here. At least that's according to them. Now, Ukraine has said, yo, that's not us. We're not claiming them. Like, no. Pontius Pilate, they washed their hands of this. But that being said, Russia is like, no. This was you guys. This is like an escalation. And, they're really queuing it up. Also, to me, this is very reminiscent of the Azov Battalion in a lot of ways, where it's like there was a big conversation point from Putin, like, oh, we're doing the whole denazification thing. And they pointed a lot to the whole Azov Battalion. And when you go and you look at their ranks, that thing is true. That is a true thing. Like, there are definitely Nazis, people who want like, an all white kind of thing. Like they're that kind of people. Anti-Semitism, all that kind of shit, sadly. They were in their ranks. But that being said, this is a crisis situation. And these people have been fighting in, Crimea, doing all that kind of shit. And now, because, the escalation, now they're fighting in this whole war. So at the end of the day, they don't represent all of Ukraine. You could easily make the counterpoint that there are Nazis in Russia. There are Nazis all over the world, sadly, still, which is really fucking gross and cringe. But that is the world we are living in 2023. So it was really almost a non-point, but it was something that was getting harped on a lot. And it is something that you bring up here. Like, don't get me wrong, like, it doesn't change the situation or anything like that. But from what I've learned, and it's not in this article, I believe I listened to this and heard it, at least for referencing, I listened to the Daily today. And they were just talking about the situation in Ukraine. And, they mentioned that, both of these, these groups have this like white ethno state, kind of ideology and shit in there. It might not be a throw line or anything like that, but it is something that people in the group do subscribe to. Obviously, as a black man, that's just something that I'm going to cue into and go, oh, well, that's something to know. But yeah, I mean, these are people. You do start off with the whole they are anti-Putin Russian nationals. And yeah, I think that's their selling point that kind of gets them on the battlefield doing stuff. That being said, I think they had like one of them had like a little clan patch or something like that. I was like, oh my god, what the fuck? Like, could y'all chill? Like, why do y'all have shit like that in merchandise? That's so weird. But yeah, I mean, naturally, Ukraine doesn't want to be linked to these people, even though there are links. And then naturally, the West and the U.S., specifically, are like, no, 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 no. We had nothing to do with this. We did not greenlight this. This has nothing to do with us. Because it just looks so fucking bad, especially when you mention the kindergarten school. I'll go ahead and read a quote here, though. We can confirm that this operation was carried out by Russian citizens. Andriy Yusov, a representative of Ukraine's Defense Intelligence Agency, told CNN. He said the units were part of defense and security forces when they were in Ukraine, but were independent from Kyiv when they were not. In Russia, they are acting as independent entities. Now, this isn't me trying to like fucking play defense for Russia or anything like that. Like, this is simply me saying, like, this is a tangential link that they were involved, but they are trying to say, well, look, when we let them off, like, they do their own thing. We can't control them. They're their own people. They're their own group. But that's very hard to just kind of sit there and say that you're not just like, you're just disavowing this, like you weren't involved. Also, I think there was like a drone thing that happened after this, but I don't have the article really queued up. So sorry about that. But there's another Ukraine thing I wanted to cover before we move out of the region. This is from the BBC. Ukraine war. Wagner, god damn it. Wagner chief vows to hand Bakhmut. I hate it here. Wagner chief vows to hand Bakhmut to Russian army by June. It is what it is. Okay. The head of Russia's Wagner mercenary group has vowed to transfer control of the Ukrainian city of Bakhmut to the Russian army by June 1st. To be honest, I just picked this article just kind of like pick it. We're just going to kind of riff a little bit here. The situation in Bakhmut has been going on for a while. I covered it for a brief moment. And it's because when this is initially laid out to me, and it has been laid out to me again and again, this is such a minor point area-wise, like, of this war. Like, campaign front-wise, this is kind of a nothing burger conversation. And I hate to say that, because it's not like I want to belittle the loss of life or the things that are going on in Ukraine. Like, it's fucked up. But, like, in the campaign, this is not a big area. This is not an area that's going to change the war. But Russia wanted to get it because it gives them a win. And Ukraine wanted to defend it because they wanted to deny them that, because they are doing a lot of hearts and mind campaigning. Literally, Zelensky has been going on an international European tour or whatever, glad handing, thanking everybody and trying to get more support. This counteroffensive that was supposed to be in the spring, it sure is looking real summerish right now. So there's a lot on the line right now, and you have to be like showing dominance in some kind of way, showing that you can make this work, because otherwise people are going to start telling you again, maybe you should just go to the negotiation table. And the West doesn't want that. Ukraine doesn't want that. So, because that means you're giving up territory in that conversation. So unless they get this territory back, it's going to look bad. So, and another reason I haven't really covered Bakhmut is because it's been going so back and forth. Yevgeny Prigozhin is such a weird, zany ass motherfucker, and he's such a weird X factor when it comes to like, what is he gonna do? What is he not gonna do? It seems like he has like a star pass to just kind of get away with saying whatever the fuck he wants. Because like, I don't know, from what I've seen so far and what I would expect, from my armchair head ass fucking position, that someone like this couldn't just pop his mouth off about the Kremlin or what's going on and like yelling and swearing and saying like, give me what I want, or I'm gonna like hand over this to the Ukrainians. But then like the next fucking week or whatever, now we're saying, oh, like we took it over, we have it. Now, all of this isn't verified. It's not concrete. It's another reason why I kind of didn't want to talk about it too much, but it seems like it's big enough as a talking point that we're just going to use it in the filler arc that is the Ukrainian war right now and the news right now. So I figured, hey, let's go ahead and just kind of give it a talking about. But now, yeah, he's saying that he's going to give it over to Russian control, even though it's like their Wagner group, aren't they already Russian control? But technically, just like Ukraine just said, oh, these aren't our people, we don't fuck with them. Russia doesn't technically, like, they aren't connected, quote unquote. You know what I mean? But they definitely fucking are. It's definitely a paramilitary group or whatever within Russia. And it just seems like Prigozhin just is like getting away with it. Like, I don't know. It's a weird situation. Now, granted, Ukraine is still fighting over it. There's kind of, I think, in the outskirts. And like I said, this just doesn't seem like it's worth it. Like, maybe it gets you a toehold in the area to potentially move somewhere along the trajectory of this war, but it's just such a small town, and you just leveled it for what? And sadly, there are still people there who can't leave, or maybe who just don't want to leave because they don't see what's the point. Like, I'm just gonna be homeless somewhere else, and there's just a lot of loss of life. There's a lot on the line there, so I was really sad. It's really fucked up. I'm just trying to kind of bicycle through this fucking conversation. God damn it. But crazy fucking scene. Let's go ahead and move along. We're actually going to move back to the States. Going to the States. We're going to America. From Reuters. After White House truck crash, driver charged with threatening Biden. They're coming for Joe, goddammit. They won't stop. A Missouri man who drove a rented box, U-Haul, a rented box truck into security barriers near the White House was charged with threatening the president after what authorities appear to believe was a deliberate crash. A Reuters witness saw investigators pull a Nazi swastika flag from inside the truck, which plowed into barriers at Lafayette Square, a public area 1 block from the White House compound. This was on Monday evening. Now, the driver was a 19-year-old by the name of Cy Varsith Kandula of Chesterfield, Missouri. Now, he was detained by the Secret Service. I'm not going to lie to you. When I heard the context of what went down and the swastika, I'm like, okay, this is some white supremacist shit. So, to see a person of color was like, okay, you got me again, life. You got me again, universe. Crazy. You're so crazy. Kandula faces a battery of charges, including threatening to kill, kidnap, or inflict harm on the president, vice president, or a family member. The U.S. Park Police said in a statement. No weapons were found inside the truck, a Park Police spokesperson said. It looked like he was just trying to... Oh, let's go ahead and read it, actually. But ABC, citing unnamed law enforcement sources, reported that Kandula told investigators he wanted to take over the government and kill the president. Authorities were looking into the suspect's mental health, the network reported. They're like, let's just go. Was this a mental health moment? My man said, all I need is one mic, one beat. Like, he was ready. He was so ready, dude. He's like, I'm good to go. I got my emotional support swastika, and I got this U-Haul. That's all I need. I'm sorry. That's so crazy. He really thought he had the juice for this. Kandula, sir. And then, like, he's just a kid. He's 19. Like, I don't care, dude. I'm so over these stories. Like, people just need to just be... I don't want to say be normal, but I do want to say be normal. Like, just take it... Come on. Like, what did you think you were going to do with this U-Haul? What was part 2 of your plan post-barricade? I just don't get it. I don't see it. That was some news. I got one more big one to cover here, and then we'll some sad news, and then I'll let you go. I know it's been a weird episode. I'm trying to think of what's the most normal episode I've recorded, but I don't know. Oh boy. Okay. This one is from The Insider. A female orca traumatized by a previous encounter with humans may be behind mounting killer whale attacks on boats, scientists say. Now, I gotta say, before I get into the guts of this, um, if you would like a better telling of the story and just a better podcast in general, please, if you don't already know, go listen to Chapo Trap House. They kill it. They tell this story better than I am going to. It is the story of White Gladys and her fight against humanity for humanity, and I agree. I do side and fight with White Gladys. I am a Free Willy enjoyer. That was my kid shit. Also, we fucked with Shamu. We were fucking with SeaWorld until fucking Blackfish came out, and then we learned a lot. We learned some hard truths, and but yeah, no. Let's just go ahead and get into the story. Also, I would another podcast I would like to plug for people to listen to. Swindled. Just speaking of Blackfish, speaking of SeaWorld, they did an amazing just breakdown of Tilikum, which was a crazy fucking story of a killer whale that wound up like killing what they call him, a trainer or whatever. Ooh, just really get into some of the guts. And also, I would say if you don't know about Blackfish, watch Blackfish. That's a good use of your fucking Netflix dollars if you got a Netflix account. So yeah. A traumatized orca called White Gladys may be behind the rise in killer whale attacks on boats in the Atlantic Ocean, scientists said. While most orca interactions with boats are harmless, there has been a spike in aggressive behavior towards boats since 2020. Alfredo Lopez Fernandez, a biologist at the University of Aveiro in Portugal, told Live Science. There have been 3 cases of distinctive black and white creatures sinking vessels by ramming into them. So yeah, I mean, these orcas are they're moving different. They normally are not known for killing humans or anything like that outside. We're talking about wild orcas. I'm not talking about orcas in captivity. That's a completely different fucking story. But that being said, just wild orcas are usually cool. But here's the thing. In this article, they even try to play it down like, oh, they're such playful creatures. They're so intelligent and clever. The last 2 things I just said are definitely true, and they are playful. But I have seen a killer whale bob a fucking leopard seal on a fucking glacier iceberg thing while it taught its children, like, hey, this is a fun game we can play with our food, because they inevitably ate it. That's killer whale. I have no problem with that. They are doing what they do. That is a circle of fucking life. We fuck with that. All right. I don't fuck with ocean animals. I respect them. All right. I do eat some. I'd like me a little seafood, but you're not catching me in the ocean acting silly. Okay. No shot. No way. I'm not in the water with a fucking killer whale. This is not a game. I said I am a Free Willy enjoyer, but Free Willy is never jumping over me. Okay, I got the necklace. I support in that way. All right, no, I'm not getting gobbled up. I'm not getting my shit played with and then dying. No way. That being said, experts believe White Gladys may have had a critical moment of agony, as they say, such as colliding with a boat or being trapped during illegal fishing activities. Live Science reported. This event may have traumatized her and caused her to start ramming other boats and then spreading the technique. And for that, we stand a queen. All right, because at the end of the day, the shit that wildlife in general have to go through because us humans is terrible. The shit we do to our ocean is just god awful. You know what I mean? Look, I watched the Whale Wars. I fucking get it. I will say I would never be a sea shepherd. I gotta be real with y'all. Hand to God, whatever. I kind of as I got older and kept watching it, I'm like, this shit's kind of lame. But that being said, I respect the vision. I respect the mission statement. And I understand what they're fighting for. And that's cool. That being said, just kind of weird, kind of cringy. But, I don't know. I do stand with the killer whales. That is what I'm trying to get to. That is what I'm boiling down to. White Gladys, I respect your fight. I respect your hustle. And you become the master splinter to these other killer whales, and they just start taking out boats. I'm fucking with it. I'm here with it. I go for it. Go nuts. All right. We have one more queen to talk about before I let you go. Sadly, this is some breaking news that kind of took place today. From People magazine, just from People, I guess I should say. Queen of rock and roll, Tina Turner, dead at 83 after long illness, as said by a representative. She died in her home near Zurich in Switzerland. Her publicist confirms. So yeah, that's some bummer. My mom was like super into Tina Turner. So like Rolling on a River was a song I'd heard at like a young age before I was even like oh yeah, music is cool. I just knew that was a song. I knew about that kind of shit. So just an amazing woman, a vision on stage and off throughout the years. I'm not going to do her justice. So obviously, if you would like to read this article, it goes into depth of her career, her life, and that's what's up. Obviously, you have the internet, you can do that shit. But yeah, we stand. We are not worthy. We are glad to have experienced. So yeah, that's the pod. That's the episode. If you'd like to support, I do have a Patreon, patreon.com. So it's Isaiah News. You get bonus access to the extra episodes I do every week. It's one a week, just a little something, little thing. And then also hot link to the Discord. Discord link is free. You can just hit me up for that though, and I'll give it to you. Then you also get a shout out every month. That's for my newsies only. I say your name on the podcast, and then I also shout out the project or whatever thing you'd like me to shout out. That's what we do here around these parts. That being said, I always love talking about news. My newsies send me news, and I'm like, thank you, may have another. Also, you can do that for free. But the free ways to hit me up, I do have a Gmail, isaiahnews1@gmail.com. Also, I have a Facebook. I have a Twitter. I am on Snapchat. Yeah, that's right. I said fucking Snapchat. I'm on all of those things. Also, we do have a YouTube. You can get in the comments if you'd like to do that. You can subscribe. You can hit the bell. Yeah, do all those things. And if there's a way to, rate me, you can rate me. Give me all of those stars you'd like to give me. Yeah. All right. That's all we got. I thank you so much. If you stuck along to the end of this episode, you're like the coolest person. I think you're fucking swell. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.